Hi, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven, and today I'll be talking about, I'll bring back one of my under the radar reviews. This one being Chris Isaak, Forever Blue. This album was released in 1995. What's great about this record, Chris Isaak had started out with that big hit song, Wicked Game, and his voice got noticed. He sounded very reminiscent of kind of like a Roy Orbison type mixed in with, let's say, the rockabilly style of the Stray Cats. So that was an interesting mix. Always a smooth delivery to his songs. Love his albums, but this is the one that kind of blew him out of the water for me. But you have to be in a specific state of mind. This album is basically a love letter to the person who dumps you. And this is, you can see in the liner notes, there's actually a letter from Chris Isaak to his ex writing about this experience. And if you listen to the sound to this album, it's basically the 5 stages of grief without one important ingredient: acceptance. This album doesn't show, it's just the anger, the disbelief, him being left alone in his way. I mean, there's even a song, "Don't Leave Me on My Own," you know. Um, so many great songs on this album. "Baby Did a Bad Bad Thing" went on to "Eyes Wide Shut" from Stanley Kubrick, but this is a great song, very snarly sounding. Isaac on this, very nasty song. "Somebody's Crying," "Graduation Day," "Go Walking Down There," "Don't Leave Me on My Own," "Things Go Wrong," and then of course the title track, "Forever Blue." Talking about how he's never going to get over this, and he's forever be blue about this, right? The last song, like "The End of Everything." There is no, at this point, getting over it, right? This is strictly the heartache of it, the gut wrenching experience of someone dumping you that I guess you didn't expect, and it's out of nowhere, and this shines through. This is basically, if you're going through a breakup and you think no one's with you, put this on, and it's like having Chris Isaak sitting beside you, going through the same emotions as you are. Highly recommend this album. The playing is excellent. It sounds great. And Chris Isaak is firing on all cylinders. His voice, his vocal delivery. When he's angry, he's angry. When he's sad, he's sad. When he's lost, and you hear it in this recordings. Um, he hasn't been. I don't hear him a lot on radio anymore, and it's unfortunate. But if you ever stream stuff and go back, I really recommend listening to this one time in your life, especially if you ever have been through a bad breakup. This is the album for you. If you need a therapy session and don't want to go see a therapist at this point, this is the album to listen to, because like I said, it's like having him right there going through this emotional roller coaster ride that you're going on. He's there with you, and you feel it. And I think that's, if you need someone to go with you on that ride to help you through it, this could be it. It's a great album. But I said, you have to be in that headspace. If you're not in a bad breakup, you might not see what he's going through here. But if you've ever been through it, if you can channel that somehow, this is the album for you. This is a great album, underrated masterpiece by one of the best singers ever, um, Chris Isaak. Like I said, he's a mix of the Stray Cats with Roy Orbison, and he kind of challenged this new sound, this new way of feeling in this recording. And "Forever Blue" will always be in my playlist, will always be somewhere in my collection where I can access it to. And now I can just appreciate it for being a portrait in time of this guy who had his heart broken. And I think when I went through something like that, I used this album to get through it, and I think you can too. And if not, if you're just looking for a great album that has the emotional backing, and you need someone who's gonna pull it off, he does on here. You can hear, because this must have been fresh, and he just wrote this during that process. So you hear it here. The validity is there. And if you don't buy this one, I mean, if you don't get involved or don't feel something on one of the tracks here, I don't think you've ever been in love or lost in love. But this is one of those albums I think you need to have in your collection or listen to once in your life. and it's an under the radar release for me. It doesn't get its just due anymore. No one really speaks about it, but I think it deserves every few years to be rediscovered. And Chris Isaak is a hidden gem in the music world, and I think you owe it to yourself to listen to it one time. So this is Steven from the Roundtable with my under the radar review with 1995's Forever Blue by the one and only Chris Isaak. Hit the like button, subscribe, let me know if you have this album. I definitely would love to hear from you. Tell me your thoughts on this. See you soon.